Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to Altamira Horsemanship. Right now I'm doing a series on my fitness reset and I'm doing a program called the Equestrian's Edge with Kristen Montero. So I'm going to go ahead and link down where I can link. If it's a blog post, then I'll link in the blog post, and if it's the YouTube video, then I will link down in the description box below. So basically I've been doing a month-long program that's focusing on healthy eating habits and doing strength training exercises along with cardio to strengthen all of the muscles that I use for horseback riding and just to be healthier on the whole. So a lot of these exercises incorporate strength training that would benefit the non-equestrian, but it has a special emphasis on muscle groups that will help benefit the equestrian. And we will be talking with Kristen Montero here soon on an upcoming video, which I'm super excited about. She is the creator of the Equestrian's Edge, and she will be doing a launch here soon, if she hasn't already, for the Equestrian's Edge fitness group. So she'll be here to talk a little bit about it and her heart behind it, but I know that just from who she is, that her heart is to help equestrians live the best life that they can based on healthy eating, encouragement, positivity, and exercise. So I'm super excited to have her with us. She'll be with us in the next video. So anyhow, I've been doing these videos just to kind of hold myself accountable and to share what I've been learning and the changes I've been seeing in my body over the course of a month as I follow these eating guidelines and as I do the strength training. So I'm going to share a little bit about how my exercise and my diet's been going, and I'm also going to share a little bit of what I've learned. So the last time I talked to you was, I believe, at the beginning of week 3, and I kind of ended up taking a 2-week gap, and so now we're at the end of week 4. So we're at the very end of the launching month. So I just kind of wanted to share a little bit about what I learned in this last week and kind of just a general reflection. So I am, so as far as this last week goes, I know that last time I shared that I wanted to talk about incorporating, as far as this last week goes, I had really wanted to incorporate more vegetables into my diet, and I'm really not much of a vegetable person. And so I'm just trying to kind of get into my mindset that I really want to be a vegetable person. So I've been listening to more YouTube videos about how to incorporate vegetables into your normal routine and kind of how to take dishes that you like and add more vegetables and, you know, good ways to complement that. So something that Kristen recommended was getting greens powder into a morning smoothie, especially if you're on the go and you don't have time to, you know, chop up vegetables or cook them or whatever, or, you know, prep them in any way. And actually I did that a couple days this week, and funny enough, when actually 3 days this week. So I have a greens powder that I tried one day, and then I also had a couple smoothie packs on the other days that had some kale in them and some other high antioxidant fruits. And so on all 3 of those days that I had vegetables in with my breakfast, I was not as hungry the rest of the day, which I thought was really interesting because my husband and I used to do smoothies every day, and so we'd incorporate this greens powder, which we love. And it's a really comprehensive powder. It has a lot of vegetables, and then it has spirulina and seaweed and kelp or all that jazz. So it's got a really wide variety of vitamins and minerals as a result. And I noticed that my body we noticed back then, and I noticed this week, that I just wasn't as hungry the rest of the day. It took a lot longer for me to catch up with being hungry. And I think that, you know, because I've been getting really, really hungry, you know, especially doing more of these workouts and, you know, doing our cardio and just being busy and being tired and all of that. And I think that my body was just lacking some vital nutrients. And so my body was trying to tell me that I needed these nutrients, but I'm not so in tune with my body yet to know what exactly it needs. So it's just telling me, I interpret it as just general hunger. And then so I eat more. I try to, balance my macros and all that. But without vegetables, my body was just keep continuing to tell me, no, that's not what we need. That's not what we need. That's not what we need. So go figure, I start incorporating more vitamins and minerals through the vegetables, and all of a sudden my body is more satisfied. So I thought that was really interesting. Also, something else that I've been trying over the past couple of days, and I'm going to continue for the next week or couple weeks, I think, is cutting out dairy entirely, just to see how my body responds, because I didn't realize until I had these eating guidelines that I was going so heavy on the dairy, like every single meal, and then between meals I wanted to have lattes or milk at night, before I went to bed. And I was realizing that, man, I eat a lot of dairy, and the Equestrian's Edge nutrition guidelines really encourages you to limit dairy. So I was like, okay, and I limited it a little bit, and I realized that I really wanted it with every meal, and I was eating it with every meal. And so I was wondering if maybe that was contributing to low energy levels and just feeling sluggish. And I was having a chat with Kristen about it, and she was saying that dairy can actually it takes so much for our body to process it, because after we hit a certain stage, our bodies don't want to process it, or aren't conducive to processing so much dairy. And so by doing so, we're actually slowing down all of our internal processes, and that's taking a lot of energy away that we would need to just do our general functioning, just to digest all of that. And then not to mention the fact that they're really high in saturated fats. So I'm kind of wondering if that will boost my energy. So far, I feel really good just cutting it out for a few days. And I'm trying not to replace it too much with soy milk or almond milk. I am in a sense, but I'm doing it in moderation, because I don't just want to pile on a replacement. I just kind of want to see what it feels like to just kind of cut it out, and then just replace it here and there with little things like I tried a quinoa bowl, a breakfast quinoa bowl. So it was just a little bit of quinoa, some cinnamon, a little bit of vanilla extract, some almond milk, and then some strawberries on top. And it was so divine. It was so good. Anyway, so I'm noticing my tastes are changing. I'm noticing that as I treat my body better with nutrition, my body, I'm remembering that I like these foods better. And so I'm coming around to wanting them more and more often. So that's been really cool. I'm really excited about continuing to learn more about that. And as far as a reflection for this week goes, the past couple weeks, I'm just more acutely aware of the need for self-care as a part of living a healthy lifestyle. You can eat the right things, you can be really strict with your diet, you can exercise, you can get all your workouts in, but if you're not sleeping, if you're not giving yourself grace, if you're not having some downtime just on your own, especially if you're an introvert like me, if you're not having that time with your horses that you need just apart from doing competitions or doing training or whatever, all of those things that give you life, if you're not doing those things, then that can still make your healthy lifestyle feel more of a strict routine than it does an actual lifestyle that's nourishing you and helping you be a complete person. So I guess my encouragement this week is just to practice self-care. I do a full-time job. I go to the barn, to help train the horses. I run a blog, and I'm married, and I have commitments at church and all of that, and not to mention any sort of social life and family and that sort of thing. And there's so many things that we juggle as women, as equestrians, just as functioning people in society. And so I just really want to encourage you to do those things that are life-giving to you. For me, I've been noticing that I really need to just take some time to be creative, because if I don't, that's an outlet for me. That's a way that I process my life. And if I'm not creative in some sort of way, whether it just be like free writing or drawing or knitting or something that involves me to kind of check out of everything else and just kind of focus on just pouring that energy, that creative energy out of me. It's almost like it stagnates, you know, and then it does something in my mind and my emotions that really feels like it energizes me and kind of also puts me at rest too. So whatever that is for you, if it matches your description, that description for you, something that brings you life, that makes you feel at peace, that gives you rest, whatever it is, make time for it. Because in the end, what are we doing trying to keep our bodies healthy and our minds healthy and staying active if it's not to do those things that bring us life, you know, so that we're complete people, to be more fully present in our relationships and to be more fully present in our life. So anyway, that's my encouragement to you. Find that self-care thing that your body's been craving or your mind's been craving that you need to do. If it's just sleeping, if it's resting, if it's unwinding in some way, if it's spending quality time with a friend that you need to hang out with, or whatever it is, I just encourage you to do it. So anyway, stay tuned. We are going to be back with our final article and vlog of this series, where we're going to be chatting with Kristen about being wholly healthy as a complete person, not just in nutrition, not just in our mind, not just in our exercise, not just in our self-care, but just what that complete picture looks like. So anyway, we'll be talking about that, and thank you so much for joining me again. Love you guys.